You just got paid. That brief moment of relief hits. Finally, some breathing room. But deep down, you already know what's coming next. The bills, the rent, the card payments, and, in a few days, that bank balance shrinks back to zero like it always does. But what if this payday could be the last one that just gets you by? What if today's paycheck could be the first step to doubling your income in just 90 days? Yes, without changing jobs, without starting a complicated business, without playing the stock market roulette. Let's be honest. Most people are stuck in a cycle. Work hard, get paid, pay bills, repeat. It's not because they're lazy or lack potential. It's because nobody taught them what the wealthy understand instinctively. It's not how much you earn, it's what you do the moment that money hits your account. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, made it clear. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. And that starts with a single decision: what you do the minute you get paid. In this guide, I'll show you a simple, proven, step-by-step method inspired by Kiyosaki's principles. No fluff, no hype. Just real strategies you can apply starting today, even if you're starting from scratch. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to shift from being a paycheck survivor to someone who builds unstoppable income. Ready to break the cycle? Let's dive in. You just got paid. A little buzz hits as the notification lights up your phone. Your hard-earned money is finally in your account. For a moment, there's relief. Maybe even a smile, but it doesn't last. Within hours, the numbers start shrinking. Rent, groceries, credit card bills. That streaming service you forgot to cancel. Before the weekend's over, your balance looks a lot like it did last month. Almost gone. And if you're like most people, you're already waiting on the next payday before this one's even had a chance to breathe. But here's the question. What if this paycheck could be different? What if instead of just disappearing into the usual cycle of spending, this check became the turning point? The one that starts doubling your income in the next 90 days? Sounds impossible, right? You didn't get a raise, you didn't land some fancy new job, and you definitely didn't win the lottery. But here's the truth. None of that is required. You don't need a new job. You don't need to start a complicated business. You don't even need a lot of money. What you need is a shift, a different way of seeing the money that just landed in your account. Robert Kiyosaki said, "It's not how much money you make. It's how much money you keep, how hard it works for you, and how many generations you keep it for." And the wealthy? They play by a different rulebook. While most people celebrate payday, the rich treat it like the starting whistle in a game they've already trained for. In the next few minutes, you're going to learn what they do that others don't, and how with a few small, smart moves, you can start using this paycheck to build wealth, not just survive until the next one. Let's get into it. Most people look at their paycheck and think one thing: survival. It's a number they divide up between rent, bills, food, debt, and if they're lucky, a night out or something new from Amazon. The moment the money hits their account, it's already spoken for. It's not wealth, it's relief. Temporary relief from financial pressure, and a reminder that in a few short weeks they'll be back in the same spot, waiting for the next deposit. But that's not how the wealthy think. That's not how they treat money. To the rich, every dollar that comes in is potential, capital to be leveraged, multiplied, and converted into assets that keep paying long after the work is done. Where the poor and middle class see income as something to spend, the rich see it as something to invest. Kiyosaki said it best: the poor work for money. The rich make money work for them. This isn't about having more. It's about thinking differently. It's about seeing your income not as an endpoint, but as a starting point. You already have what you need to begin. The question isn't how to earn more. The question is, how do you use what you're already earning? Most people believe that if they could just earn a little more, everything would change. But the truth is, more money without a new mindset just leads to bigger bills and deeper debt. The only way to break the cycle is to change how you see money right now. That paycheck you just received? It can be the seed of a second income stream. It can buy back your time, build assets, and create freedom, but only if you treat it like capital, not comfort. You don't have to be rich to think like the rich. You just have to start acting on what they already know. The shift begins now. The first step to taking control of your money and your future is deceptively simple. Pay yourself first. Not after rent, not after groceries, not after you cover every bill and swipe your card for a little reward. First, most people get paid and immediately start distributing that money to everyone but themselves. Landlord gets a cut. Credit card company gets a cut. The utility bill, the gas tank, the subscriptions, everyone gets paid before the person who actually earned it. And by the end of the month, what's left? Usually nothing. That's how the cycle continues. But the wealthy follow a different rule. The first bill they pay is to themselves. 10 to 20% of every paycheck goes straight into savings or investments before a single expense is touched. This isn't optional. It's not something you do if there's something left. It's the first thing you do, because it's the only way to build wealth that lasts. Paying yourself first sends a message. Your future matters more than your impulse. And it works, not because of how much you save, but because of how consistently you do it. Even if you start with a small amount, the habit itself builds momentum. If needed, automate it. Set a transfer the moment your paycheck hits. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left, because there won't be anything left. When you pay yourself first, you shift from being a consumer to a creator. That money starts working for you. It becomes your foundation. Over time, it builds not just savings, but confidence. Confidence that you're in charge now, that your money serves you, not the other way around. This habit alone can transform your finances. Not because it's flashy, but because it's fundamental. It's the first brick in the foundation of financial freedom. And the best part? You can start today. Before you can build wealth, you need to build protection. That means creating a safety cushion, a simple emergency fund that shields you from life's unexpected punches. And no, it doesn't have to be huge. In fact, just $1,000 can change everything. Most people live one car breakdown or surprise medical bill away from disaster. That kind of stress keeps you stuck. It's hard to think long-term when you're constantly worried about staying afloat this week. But when you have even a small financial buffer, the game changes. You're no longer operating from fear. You're moving from a place of control. Saving your first $1,000 is about more than money. It's about reclaiming your peace of mind. It's about knowing that if something goes wrong, if the tire blows, if the dog gets sick, if hours get cut at work, you've got options. You don't have to swipe a credit card or borrow money. You're covered. And that kind of emotional safety net is just as powerful as the financial one. This cushion doesn't just reduce anxiety, it gives you confidence. Confidence to say no to toxic jobs. Confidence to take a small risk, like starting a side hustle or investing in a course that levels up your skills. When your back isn't against the wall, you stop making desperate decisions. You start making smart ones. And here's the truth. Building that first 1,000 is less about how much you make and more about how committed you are. Cut a few unnecessary expenses. Sell something collecting dust. Put aside $5 a day. You'll be shocked how quickly it adds up when you stop telling yourself it's impossible. This isn't the end goal, it's the launch pad. Your emergency fund is the emotional and financial ground floor for everything that comes next. You can't build freedom on panic. But with a little padding, you can breathe, you can plan, and most importantly, you can move forward. One of the fastest ways to sabotage your financial future is to fall into the trap of lifestyle creep. It happens the moment your income goes up. Maybe you get a raise, land a new job, or earn a little extra on the side, and almost instantly, your expenses rise to meet it. Suddenly, the coffee gets fancier, the clothes more expensive, and the dinners out more frequent. It feels justified. After all, you deserve it. But if your spending grows as fast as your income, you'll never actually build wealth. You're just upgrading the cage. Living below your means isn't about deprivation. it's about discipline. It's about understanding that just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. The wealthy don't rush to upgrade every time they earn more. They expand their assets, not their lifestyle. That doesn't mean you can't enjoy your money. It means you give every dollar a job that supports your goals. A simple framework like the 50-30-20 rule can guide you. 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% toward building wealth, savings, investments, and personal growth. Or, if you want to go further, try flipping the formula. Live on 70% and make sure 30% is moving you forward every single month. The truth is, anyone can feel rich for a moment by spending more. But that moment fades. Real wealth shows up when you still live like you're broke, even after your paycheck grows, because you're feeding your future instead of your ego. Don't let a raise become a reason to lock yourself into a bigger car payment or a fancier apartment. Let it be the fuel that accelerates your journey to financial freedom. The difference between staying stuck and moving ahead isn't how much you earn, it's how much you keep and what you do with it. Keep your lifestyle steady and let your wealth do the climbing. Your salary is not the finish line, it's the starting capital. The moment you begin to see your income as fuel, not freedom, everything changes. Too many people treat their paycheck as spending money. But if you want to escape the rat race, you need to treat it like what it truly is. Seed capital. Money that should be planted, not consumed. Because once it grows, it can start working for you. Robert Kiyosaki said, "The rich buy assets, the poor buy liabilities." Most people are buying liabilities and calling them rewards. New phones, new cars, designer labels, things that lose value the second you buy them. But the rich use their income to acquire assets, things that put money in their pocket month after month, whether they're working or not. You don't need a fortune to start building assets. You just need to think differently. Today, there are more entry points than ever. A few $100s can get you started with dividend-paying stocks that reward you quarterly for just owning them. You could take skills you already have and package them into an ebook, an online course, or a digital product that sells while you sleep. You can rent out a spare room, a vehicle, or even your gear on peer-to-peer platforms. Or invest in your own learning so you can earn more tomorrow than you do today. This is how money starts working for you. It's how you stop trading hours for income. Every asset you build is like planting a tree. At first, it may look small, but give it time and it will provide shade, fruit, and freedom. If you keep treating your salary like it's meant to be spent, it'll vanish just as fast as it arrives. But if you start treating it like capital, your money will begin building something bigger than a lifestyle. It'll build leverage. And leverage is how the rich get richer, even when they're not working. Plant your income in the right places and watch it grow. If there's one truth about wealth that never changes, it's this: one income stream is never enough. Relying on a single paycheck is like balancing your entire life on one leg. Eventually, it gets shaky. The wealthy don't just depend on what they earn from their main job. They create multiple streams of income, so even when one slows down, the others keep flowing. And today, with the tools and access available to you, there's no excuse not to start building your second stream. This doesn't mean quitting your job or launching some complicated company overnight. It means using a portion of your time, an hour a day, a weekend afternoon, to start something that pays you back. Maybe you've got skills that others need: writing, editing, design, marketing, coaching. Offer them as a freelancer. Start consulting. You've already earned your paycheck by learning these skills. Now let them earn for you again. Or maybe you've got knowledge you could turn into a digital product, a guide, a template, a course. Create it once and it can sell for years. That's the beauty of leverage. You do the work one time, and it keeps generating income without demanding your time over and over again. This is the shift from trading hours for dollars to creating value that pays you long after the work is done. That's how you multiply income without multiplying effort. And while it may not replace your full-time job overnight, Even an extra few $100s a month from a second stream can accelerate your savings, fund your investments, and give you room to breathe. Don't wait until you're ready. Start with what you know. Use the time you usually spend scrolling or streaming to build something that pays. The money you make outside your paycheck is the money that frees you. And the sooner you build that second stream, the sooner you stop relying on someone else to control your income. The most powerful asset you'll ever invest in isn't real estate or stocks. It's your mind. Financial freedom doesn't begin with a bank account. It begins with knowledge. And the people who build wealth understand this deeply. That's why one of the smartest moves you can make with every paycheck is to set aside a portion, 10% if you can, to invest in your own education. This isn't about going back to school or chasing another degree. It's about learning the things traditional education never taught you: how money works, how to manage it, grow it, protect it, and multiply it. Financial literacy isn't optional anymore. It's your edge in a world designed to keep most people just getting by. Buy books that teach you the rules of the wealthy. Take online courses that show you how to build income, master budgeting, or understand investing. Get mentorship if you can, even if it means paying to be in the room. Learning from someone who's already done what you want to do can shortcut your progress by years. Robert Kiyosaki built his entire message around this idea. The difference between rich and poor isn't how hard they work, it's what they know, and that knowledge doesn't come automatically. You have to seek it out, you have to study it, and you have to apply it. But the payoff, it's exponential. Think about it. A book might cost $20, but one idea inside it could make you $2,000 or save you from losing even more. A course might take 10 hours to complete, but it could change how you manage money for the rest of your life. There is no investment with a higher return than becoming smarter about your finances. Every dollar you spend to get wiser is a dollar building your future. You can lose money, but no one can take your knowledge. And once you know how to build wealth, no one can stop you from doing it again. So, invest in yourself. You're the foundation for everything else. Success with money doesn't come from one big move. It comes from repeating the right small ones over and over again. Once you've taken those first steps, paying yourself first, building a cushion, turning income into assets, the next move is simple. Keep going. Repeat. Reinforce. Scale. This is where real wealth is built, not in the beginning, but in the momentum. Automate your savings so it happens whether you feel like it or not. Reinvest the passive income you earned from your assets instead of spending it. Every dollar that comes back to you should go right back to work, compounding its impact over time. Don't underestimate the small wins. That first $50 you earn passively, that's not just extra cash, it's proof. It's evidence that your money is finally working for you. Celebrate it, not with spending, but with motivation. Because if you can earn $50 while you sleep, you can learn to earn $500 and eventually $5,000. Most people give up too soon. They start saving, investing, maybe even building a side stream, and when they don't see huge results fast, they quit. But wealth doesn't explode overnight. It builds quietly, almost invisibly through consistency. Compound interest isn't flashy at first. It grows slowly, then suddenly. That's why the key is to stay in the game long enough to see the results most people never do. Every month, your job is to do what works, again. Add to your savings. Add to your investments. Improve your second stream. Reinvest your earnings. Educate yourself further. You don't need to get fancy. You need to get faithful. The process works if you do. Scaling isn't about making huge leaps. It's about stacking layers, financial habits, systems, assets, until one day the income you earn without working is more than enough to cover what you used to trade hours for. That's when freedom becomes real, and it all comes from doing what works, over and over again. So don't stop. Double down. The climb may be slow, but the view is worth it. Doubling your income doesn't take luck, and it definitely doesn't take magic. It takes method, it takes intention, and it starts with what you do in the next few minutes, because how you handle your paycheck right now is what will shape the next 90 days of your life. Most people will take that deposit, pay off a few bills, grab a few wants, and wait for the next one. But you're not here to repeat what hasn't worked. You're here to make a shift, a new decision, one that takes your income and turns it into something greater. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's about choosing, with every paycheck, to build instead of spend, to invest instead of consume, to act instead of react. The difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is simple. Action. The rich don't wait for the right time. They create it, starting with what they already have. So, here's the challenge. Will you use this paycheck to survive or to build? Will you keep repeating the same cycle, or are you finally ready to break it? The roadmap is here. You've seen the steps. You know what to do. Now it's time to take control and move forward. Automate your savings. Build your cushion. Start that second stream. Invest in your education. And above all, stay consistent. Your future doesn't change when you wish it would. It changes when you decide it must. And that decision starts now with this paycheck. If this message lit something in you, share it. Someone else in your life needs to hear this today. And don't forget to subscribe because this is just the beginning. We're building financial freedom one smart step at a time. And you? You're already on the path. Let's keep going. Now that you've seen exactly what to do with your next paycheck, the big question is, will you actually do it? Remember, knowing the steps means nothing if you don't take action. The truth is, financial freedom isn't some distant dream. It's a series of small, smart decisions made consistently, starting with what you already earn. So, what will you do differently today? Will you keep letting your money disappear the second it arrives? Or will you finally start using it to build something that lasts? If this video made sense to you, imagine how many other people in your life need to hear this. Share it with a friend, your partner, your coworkers, anyone who's tired of living paycheck to paycheck and ready to make a change. Let's spread this message together. And of course, if you want to keep learning how to take control of your finances and create real, lasting wealth, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next step in your journey. You've already taken the first one just by being here. Now, let's build on that. See you in the next video.